Morning. Well, you know when they say you should never really sort of revisit your, childhood dreams and places. I'm risking that today. I can't camp at the moment, so I'm doing lots of little short trips out. And I've decided to come back to the little village where I grew up and visit the woodland, which I suppose was my very first woodland that I ever explored. I'm just hoping it's how I remember it. Who knows? Let's find out. Well, it's sort of as I remember, but I suppose the first time I came in here, I would have been, I don't know, 8, 10, something like that, because it was the closest woodland to the village. And at them times, this seemed like a massive forest. It's not that big, to be honest. not now, not seeing it with fresh eyes. It's weird, I'd almost forgotten about this place. Thinking back, I would have thought the last time I was in here is approaching 40 years now. I would have been early teens, because it was not only a good place to explore and muck about, build camps and stuff as you do when you're a kid, but also it was one of our favoured places for myself and a good friend of mine, Jason, who I was at school with. If we bunked off school, we'd come in here instead for the day. So we spent many days in here. If you're watching, good times, Jason, good times. Yeah, not a lot's changed really. It's sort of how I remember it, although obviously by now it's a very hazy memory. The only real difference, and I don't know whether the camera picks it up, the traffic noise. Back in the days when I was a kid, the main road ran through the middle of the village. And then in about, I think it was 88 or 89, they put in a bypass, which was great for the village, made the village much quieter. But now the A21 actually runs sort of alongside this woodland. So yeah, there wasn't the traffic noise the last time I was in here, which is a bit of a shame. But apart from that, I'm still enjoying myself. It's bringing back lots of memories. Old tree stand there. Obviously someone does some shooting in here now. Although that is quite old, obviously it hasn't been used for a long time, but it certainly wasn't in here when I was a kid. I wonder what they're shooting. I never remember there being a lot of wildlife in it, to be honest. But hey, that is nearly 40 years ago. A lot can change. There is some quite well-worn paths through here, although technically it's private, being so close to the village. I think there's quite a few people coming here, walking their dogs and so on. God, that plane's noisy. Where is he? Can't see it. Oh, it's a helicopter. Straight overhead. Sort of thing that always happens when you're trying to film something. been up on the high side of the wood. Not much changed up there. I came in on that path. I'm going to continue down here. From memory, there's a stream at the bottom here, I think. Comes out on a farm track. As I say, I'm working on memories that are nearly 40 years old. Certainly in that time it's been coppiced, because these aren't massive trees in here, and I remember it being bigger trees, or maybe that was just because I was a kid, I don't know, but I don't remember it being quite as sort of dense as this. It was more a traditional woodland, bigger, you know, oaks and beeches and stuff, and a bit better spaced. So I think it has been coppiced, and of course it's thickened up, but still lovely. There's the old boundary ditch here. I don't know quite how well that shows, but that's why there's a line of gnarly old trees along it. Well, I can hear the geese. There is a very large pond on one of the big local estate farms, and there was always a lot of Canada geese to and fro to that. Oh yeah, we're getting down towards where all the pines are. I do remember that being in the bottom corner. I'll film some more if I find anything a bit more interesting. Sorry about the wind noise. I've just popped out the corner of the wood, and I thought I'd show you this. If you're not of this area, you probably wouldn't recognise this and what it is. It's actually a hop garden, where they grow the hops for brewing beer. Now all of this area, most of this part of Sussex and all of Kent, used to be covered in these hop gardens, and now there's hardly any. I think most of the hops are imported nowadays. Certainly all of this valley used to be covered with them, and this is one of the few that's left. Rather than mass production, they now just grow like specialist varieties on a smaller scale. I don't know if you can see it, it's a bit of a long way off, but looking through the hop garden, there on that bank opposite, those yellow fields, that's oilseed growing, and my house actually bordered the left-hand field. I was on that bank over there. So as you can see, it's not a long walk to get over to this woodland. Right, let's get out of this wind. This bottom corner is getting very thick and very damp and boggy, and I haven't got damp and boggy shoes on, so I think I'm going to pop out that gap there and skirt round to the left. And I've popped out of that gap on the corner of the hop garden, looking across the Rother Valley there. There's the field with the oilseed in it, and you can't see it because there's that big bushy tree right in the way. But my house would have been directly behind that. I'm going to take this path around the outside here, just so I can skirt round the boggy bit. Look at the colour of that water and the ground there where it drains out, bright orange. That's because of all the iron ore deposits in the area, with the water filtering through it, turns it like that. You can drink it, obviously best to filter and boil, and even then it's got a real sort of metallic taste to it. It's not very pleasant at all, to be honest. If you're really thirsty, it'll do. God, bloody hell. Wipe out. Yeah, if you're really thirsty, yeah, you could filter that and drink it if there was nothing else. But I wouldn't really advise it It bloody tastes horrible. Emergency use only. That's better. Back on dry ground. Back into the woods. It's definitely prudent to skirt round that boggy bit, because I've only got my sort of lightweight summer walking boots on, and though they were waterproof when I first had them, which way should I go? That way? That takes me around where I've been. Let's go that way. Yeah, when I first got them they were waterproof, but now after years and years of use they're not waterproof any longer, but they're still really comfy even though they're knackered. So I've got them on today. Nice to get out of that wind as well. I'm only, I don't know, 10 or 15 metres from the edge of the wood, but it's surprising how much the trees stop that wind. I'm pretty sure this is the right way. Sun's behind me, so I know I'm heading north. Like I say, it's not a massive woodland. It's not like I'm going to get lost. Now I know where I am. I found the farm in the corner of the wood. I think it's mainly stabling and stuff for horses now. Obviously it's where the money is. But back in the day there used to be an egg farm here, and that was one of my first jobs as a youngster. I can't remember how old I'd have been, 12, 13, something like that. Me and a couple of mates used to work there on a Saturday morning, picking up the eggs and grading them, and you know, putting them in the right sizes in different trays. The money was crap, but we used to have a laugh. But then one day we had an egg fight and was throwing eggs at each other, and it was everywhere, and yeah, well, we all got the boot. Quite simply. I'd forgotten all about that till I saw the farm. The things you do when you're a kid. Well, it's a bit of a shitty end to the video, if you excuse the pun. Robertsbridge sewage treatment works right on the edge of this woodland, but I've got to take the path through it. Where does that row of trees on top of that bank? Car's parked just the other side. So yep, just got to go up that bit and I'm done. Well, that was a nice little wander. Might not have been very interesting for you, but it was interesting for me to go back and see how things have changed. Sorry about that sunlight flashing across the camera. Nothing I can do about that. Yeah, fun reminiscing. Some nice memories back when I was a kid and first sort of discovered, well, woodland basically, and how nice it can be and what an escape it can be. It's just a shame now that the main road is so close to this one, but maybe at some point in the future I'll have to come back and do an overnight here for old time's sake. Get to a bit where I'm out of the sun. That's better. Right, thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you all soon. The village is to my left, the woodlands to my right, and right in the centre there, just about to see the houses and the trees. That's the little estate that I lived on. Oh, how things have changed. Never mind, they call it progress. See ya!